Wow, we have so many. Hey guys, I'm a bit
Hey.
surprised. We already have people waiting for the event. I'm going to invite the speakers here. Adam, is everyone here? Kirat, that's great, you're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Alejandro,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Are
Hello,
we live
do you
or?
hear me?
Yes, we are live. We have 8 people in the audience. I'm going to
Okay.
announce right now in the general chat that we are starting.
Two different beverages there, right?
Yeah. You've gone the safe option. I shouldn't drink and drive, but
Which one is
Yeah,
it? It's
water.
Desperados, is it?
That's
Sorry?
why we do it in simulation. That is the only reason.
Alan, you shouldn't drink when driving.
We have everything here: coffee, beer, and KFC food. So I really love Shanghai.
Yeah, I'd love
By
to
the
go one
way,
day.
yes, for everyone who's watching, Reinhard right now is here in Shanghai in Pimax headquarters. And yeah, so it's very nice to have him here. He's the most determined webinar speaker. He came all the way to Shanghai to participate in this event. All right, I just
How's you?
announced in. Mhm. Adam, go ahead.
I was just going to say, how's your trip to China? Is it nice? Worth
Yeah,
a
it's
visit?
absolutely fine. It was just like 10 hours of flight. Mostly I slept there, but everything worked fine except my credit card was declined. But the good thing is I had a second card with me from a friend, and that card worked. But if it didn't work, I would have a real problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know.
Is it super hot there?
It's insane. Today I did nothing. You know, it is 1 a.m. right now, so it's a bit of a night shift for Max and myself. Uh, but it was like we went out of the hotel for 1 hour and we were completely done. So
Yeah.
I might share this live in my Discord. I don't know if there's an easy way to share the direct link.
I think the invite is the best way.
Yeah, I guess we can start. We have just one more speaker. And yeah, let me check. Omer, if he can join right now, let me check quickly. Yeah, he says he thinks he got it working. Let me just send him a message.
Okay.
Yes, and I think we can start. First of all, thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. We're going to have a webinar, a podcast on the topic of the best VR headset for sim racing in 2024. Today we have 5 speakers, 5 guests. All of them are passionate VR enthusiasts, and all of them are very passionate about sim racing in particular. So they have a lot of experience with various sim racing simulators, and it would be very interesting to hear their opinion on the current situation in sim racing these days, which are headsets out there on the market, and to hear their opinion about them. So I will quickly go through the agenda. So first, we're going to have a discussion of the specs and performance of the most popular sim racing headsets in 2024. Then we're going to have an online race in Automobilista 2 featuring webinar speakers, each wearing a headset of his choice. That's going to be interesting. And then we will have a follow-up discussion and again discuss what are like the best headsets out there for sim racing right now. And let me quickly go through our guests' names. So I think you might know or might hear about them before. All of them have their YouTube channels where they release videos about sim racing and overall PC VR. So the first speaker is Kirith Cart. Then we also have Alejandro Lopez, Reinhard Roscher, Omer Bagdal, and Adam Simporium. So I'm gonna put the links to their channels in the chat a bit later. And yeah, if you are interested, you can follow them, watch their videos, and learn more about their channels. So I think we are good to go now. We are good to start. And I would like to ask the first question. So maybe Reinhard, we will start with you. Currently out there, if we talk about the best VR headsets for sim racing right now, what are the top headsets popping up in your head?
Okay, let me think about what headsets I used in the past. I used the 8KX because of the wired FOV. Then I used the Crystal, and then I used the Crystal Light. So I'm pretty biased because it's only a Crystal, but I also used the PSVR2 with Gran Turismo 7. And of course, I own mostly all of the headsets. But right now, I would say my daily headset is the Crystal Light because for me it's like a upgrade to the G2 because I really love the G2, but right now the Crystal Light for me is a very good way to go. And a couple of days back then, I tried the upscaler, and right now the upscaler is available for everybody. And I think this is a really cool feature, even if you don't have the high-end PC. So, yeah, Crystal Light is the way for me right now.
Kirith, would you add something? What other brands are popping up in your head?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great. If you can hear me, I think it's a great time for VR sim racing generally. So it's never been a better time to jump in. I've used, I think, five or owned five VR headsets for sim racing. I used the original PSVR one on mainly Gran Turismo Sport, which was very much a novelty. I've used the PSVR 2 on Gran Turismo 7 quite a lot, and it's a very good experience. I think it's actually let down by Gran Turismo's sort of quality of life features with it, which is not often something you struggle with on PC because there's mods and ways around it. I've used the Pimax Crystal with the battery in the back, the Pimax Crystal Lite, and the DPVR E4. So I've used all of those quite extensively. The DPVR E4 is also a very light headset. It's light, sort of like the original PSVR 1, but it doesn't have the pixel density that the Crystal Light has. The Crystal Light, I think for me, fixes the biggest issue I had with the Pimax Crystal was it was just a little bit too bulky. And sometimes just that little bit of bulk can kind of put you off using it. I do think for sim racing, so I do racing in real life as well. My background's actually racing in real life, and all the time I'm wearing a helmet. So for me, I'm kind of like having a bulky headset is not necessarily a big issue. But going from the Pimax Crystal to the Crystal Light is quite a significant difference for me actually. And I don't notice the features that are not present with the Crystal Light. So for me, that's the headset I'm using. I'm finishing off building my new studio, but it's going to be hanging there, and that's the one that's going to be just put back. Even though the DPE4 is lighter, and even though the Pimax Crystal has some slightly, like the with the dynamic figure and stuff like that, but I'm going to use the Crystal Light. I think it's, as far as I'm aware, one of the best bang for bucks as well at the moment on PC VR sim racing.
Cool. You mentioned weight, right, and pixel density. Adam, what do you think like personally for you, actually, what are the key specs of VR headsets that are the most important for sim racing?
For me, yeah, it's got to be it's a mix of PPD and FOV. Like I said, before, PPD is great. You've got to have a good PPD, but if you haven't got a decent FOV to start with, then it kind of spoils it. You don't want. You could have super high PPD looking through binoculars, I mean, someone could make a headset that's 100 ppd looking through that, but what good is that? You want to open up the vision, and we're getting to the point now where we can have both. We're slowly getting there, but we're creeping up to the point where we can have the best of both worlds. And I think the Crystal is certainly the first sort of start, because the FOV in the Crystal, it's not the biggest, but it's not. No one really complains about the FOV. It's pretty good FOV in the Crystal, and with a good PPD. So you've got to balance it out, rather than pick one over the other, really. Yeah, I mean, I use the original Crystal, and I have tried the Crystal Light, and yeah, like you said, there is quite a noticeable difference in the weight. But sitting down, I don't really mind the weight of the original Crystal. But potentially in the future, I want to try the wireless out, so that's why I'll keep hold of this one. Yeah.
Omer, how about you? Because you do like drag racing, right? And I see you're wearing
I do
8K,
drifting.
right?
Yeah, I do drifting.
Oh yeah, drifting.
Yeah.
Yes, drifting.
Yeah, so for me, the FOV is the most important thing. Like the PPD, yeah, the clarity is important as well. But FOV for me, like when I'm drifting, I need to look at where I'm going. And at the same time, I need to pay attention to the car right next to me when I'm in tandem drifting. So that is the most important thing to me. That's why I choose 8K, Pimax 8K.
I see. And Alejandro, what are you using these days, and what are in your opinion, the most important specs?
Yeah, I'm using currently the Pimax Crystal. And yeah, I think it's currently the best headset of the ones I tried, which are Quest 3, Vario Aereo, and HP Reverb G2. I think that for sim racing, as other people said, we need a very high FOV. But I'm more in the PPD area. I think when you have a decent field of view, the PPD is what people see more connected to the circuit. And yeah, there is usually been the battle between monitors quality in terms of visuals versus the virtual reality headsets. And currently, I think that with 35 ppd, we are in a point where it finally matches a good monitor.
Cool, guys. And go ahead.
No, yeah. So yeah, VR is amazing in my opinion because it allows you to see the real world scales. And in terms of competition, I think you are more precise. You get more precision of the corners.
To be able to
Cool,
tell
guys.
the depth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be able to tell the depth is the most important aspect of VR, I think, like compared to the 3 monitor setups.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can jump in there. Like for sim racing, for me, even when going back to the PSVR 1, so obviously the quality is not good. The frame rate was not really good. But just having that depth perception when you're driving in real life and you see 3D objects like braking markers, that makes a difference. And just being able to just lean into the 3D depth perception makes you drive more naturally. And now the biggest question I think like everyone's picked up on is the comparison is between these and high-end monitors. And so when you get to the point where it's like looking at a high-end monitor, there's almost no reason not to do VR. Or if you want the most performance or want to drive the most naturally, you need to be in VR. And that hasn't been the case when monitors have been ahead on sort of the perception of seeing pixels. In my opinion, anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. For me, I can share the same thing like Alejandro, because I tried the 42 PPD lenses, or I have the 42 PPD lenses for the original Crystal, and you know, we have this saying in Austria: when you start leaking blood, you want to have more. And the thing is, now it was like a look into the future, what 42 ppd means. But like Adam said, the FOV is like really narrow, and when I switch back to the 8KX, I have this wonderful field of view, but the resolution or the clarity is not the same as with the original crystal of the crystal light. So back a few weeks ago, I tested the VR1 at Somnium, and also very nice headset. In my opinion, quite expensive. But I really love to see another PC VR headset. I wish Arthur and his team the best that the headset will be released quite soon. And also, it's very nice to see a headset with a larger FOV, with also really nice colors and clarity, and yeah, with a display port connector, because in the last few months, I realized that there are so many people out there don't know the benefit with a standard DisplayPort connection, like low latency and the native resolution. And yeah, like I told before, the upscaler is really doing a good job. Give it some time, I guess all the quirks are going to be fixed real soon. And yeah, I hope I can safely say that the upscaler will also be available for the original crystal. So this was discussed. Max, I hope I'm allowed to tell it, but I already told it. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
something
meant to have
from
it.
my
I was
side.
meant to be. I was sent it, but it's the wrong one, so it doesn't work. So they haven't got
Oh,
back
you
to
mean
me.
for the original crystal, the upscaler?
Yeah, yeah. I was told. I said, "Can I have it?" And I was sent a new Pimax Play. But then when I run it, there's no upscale option or no firmware update. So maybe because I got the original crystal. I don't know.
Yeah, right now,
So yeah.
unfortunately, right now the upscaler is only available for the crystal light. But
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
good news is Pimax is working on the upscaler for the original crystal.
All right. Oh, I'm surprised there's a difference.
Yeah,
I'm
as
Essentially the
Reinhard
same, aren't they?
said, yeah, as you said, DisplayPort connection is very, very important in my opinion. Not just because of the visuals, because of the low latency. When you are competitive in sim racing, you need a low latency, because if not, yeah, you can be disadvantaged. And yeah, that's something a lot of people in Quest 3 and Pico 4 headsets don't know or didn't pay attention into that. But when you try a DisplayPort headset, you really notice it, in my opinion.
Do you know, Adam, you've got the PSVR 2 on PC, what the latency is like with that? Because I don't notice any latency on PS5, but I don't know if there is on PC.
I can't say I notice anything at all, to be honest with you. You know, as I said, I mostly race single player, so maybe that's a bit more forgiving. I don't know, but I don't. You know, some milliseconds don't really matter or whatever it is to me. But no, I don't notice any at all. Don't notice any latency or whatever you want to call it. But no, totally comfortable and no issues.
I think the biggest
Yeah.
advantage using the PSVR 2 now on the PC is the possibility to use the headset with full native resolution without reprojection, getting 120 hertz. I love
Yeah.
to play Gran Turismo, but always like this reprojection jittering.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like if you have like a pixel error on your monitor, once you see it, you can unsee it. So, and the same thing is when I driving Gran Turismo, I always notice now reprojection kicks in, and now there's a little bit of latency, and the whole game is slowing down. And using the PSVR with the adapter and getting 120 hertz and FPS in Assetto Corsa was really cool because it feels like a new device. And yeah, I always said that I would love to see like a really hardcore PlayStation Pro version just for VR, but it breaks my heart that Sony kind of abandoned the PSVR. I mean, there are people saying like, no, they don't abandon it because they created the adapter. But honestly, the whole adapter thing is like a bit weird because you need the Bluetooth adapter, you need a separate DisplayPort cable. So
Yeah,
I
so
think it's
weird they
not the
didn't
proper
include
round package.
those.
Yeah, I made a
Yeah.
video on Gran Turismo 7 abandoned PSVR 2. Got a whole load of interrogation on what abandon actually means. But I wasn't too happy about the initial reviews of PSVR 2, particularly because Gran Turismo 7 was one of the standout, maybe is the standout game for it on PS5. Because when people watch YouTube reviews of PSVR 2, you don't see the reprojection because you just see 60 FPS. I feel like the clarity, and Ryan, sounds like you've also really looked into this, but it looks like it's clearer when you watch a YouTube video of a PSVR 2 recording than it feels in the headset. And I was one of the few people to try and say, look, if you buy this headset, it's not going to feel like 4K. It's not going to feel like a 4K experience on Gran Turismo 7. It's going to feel a little bit blurry. And again, that was controversial. But then going to something like the Pimax Crystal and the Crystal Light, it's like, whoa, this actually does feel like a really high fidelity experience, but the videos look similar. So I actually made a video on YouTube at one point, which is like, this is actually what it looks like. And I added some post processing just to sort of uh, add some reprojection in the YouTube video. And a lot of people come to like, oh, whoa, that's actually what it looks like. But that was a small point. I think reprojection is such a great technology when you think about it, right? Because it allows you to actually have that smooth feeling when the game can't deliver the frames. And the way it predicts where to interpolate that frame based on the movement, and it does it and renders it, in that time frame is incredible. I think it was John Carmack who came up with it. But there is a big downside, which is this blurriness, and I don't think any of the reviewers really kind of, the ones that I saw anyway, kind of did a decent job in explaining that to people. So people went out and bought it, and they were very disappointed.
Yeah.
From
I
what I
think
saw.
I'm less harsh on it. I mean, I do love GG7 in VR, and I don't know. I know the reprojection is there, but I just get immersed in it, and I personally sort of forget about it, and I just accept that. I'm happy that we've got that on a console. So the reprojection is like that's the cost of it. Like that's fair enough. It's amazing that we've got that on a console, and yeah, for me, I just get immersed into it and sort of forget about it because the rest of it, like the lighting, is second to none. The graphics in GG7, all right, they're not as sharp, but they're second to none for any sort of sim racing we've got. They're better than any other sim overall, if you disregarding resolution. If we could get GG7 come to PC like they've done with their other games, that would be phenomenal. If that'll ever happen, I don't know. I mean, they brought God of War and whatnot, so maybe it's possible. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
That'd be the dream, yeah. Just because it's a great fun game. I know it's not a hardcore sim, but it's a really fun game, and yeah, maybe one day.
So Gran Turismo 7 is so lovely made with the whole case, with the cafe and your menu books, and to get new cars, and you have like this rental car dealership and everything. So yeah, if anybody doesn't know, there is a very cool mod out there for Assetto Corsa. It's called Assetto Corsa, not Competizione, Evoluzione, and it's like a Gran Turismo 7 clone, where you need to earn money and do races and stuff, and it's so lovely made. It's made by Alex Mail. I made a video about it, or a couple of videos about it, and this is, for my opinion, as close as it's get for Gran Turismo 7 on PC. But Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you, Adam, that the PSVR 2 is such a cool way, because when you imagine you have your living room and your console and also a racing rig, now it's possible to play at least one game in VR if you don't have a high-end PC. And it's
Yeah.
so, I think it's so sad that none of the other great racing games are getting VR support, like Dirt Rally or something, like games that are already out for PS5. So this is actually sad, and I know it's not like push the developer VR button and the game is running on the low end hardware of the PS5, but we have tricks like the eye tracking with dynamic foveated rendering, also reprojection, and yeah, I think it's sad that there are no more games out there, because people bought a PSVR, and after, I don't know, 100 hours of Gran Turismo 7, I think everybody wants to play some different racing game. And as far as I know, there is no other racing game for the PlayStation.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Not yet. No, next one might be Flat Out. That might be the next one. Because that'll be on PSVR 2, I believe. You know, the flat to VR people are working on Flat Out, and I think that's got PSVR 2 support.
I think that's one of the another comparison points to go back to your question, Max, about what's the best headset at the moment. Let's assume that.
Hang on, I'm
let's
being attacked.
let's assume that you got a PC and a console. If you're a sim racer and you got a PSVR 2 on console, your only choice is Gran Turismo 7. And a lot of the
Yeah.
other games kind of feel like tech demos. I've played a lot of them, and they're kind of the ones that are fun for the first 5-10 minutes, and then you're like, okay, how am I going to play this for another 50 hours? Whereas you go on PC and you go on Steam, and you have a lot more choice. So it's a smart move by Sony doing that adapter, I think, and it's sort of led into their wider strategy of leaning into PC a bit more. And I can't remember who said it, but there's a very good point about now on PC you can really unlock 120 hertz without repro, and you can use the PSVR 2 to play other sim racing titles. But I don't know what the software experience is like compared to, say, the Crystal, where you've got Pimax Play and you can really dial in and you can run it at 72 if you want, or 90.
On the
or
PSVR 2?
no, on the Crystals. So I don't know what the software side of the PSVR 2 is like on PC. How
Oh, right.
customized
You don't
it
need
is.
any. You don't need any. I don't run any. I just run Steam.
Yeah,
Okay.
So there
you
is an
need
app. There is the PSVR 2 app, but you don't need to run it. I only run it to run room setup, and now I just start Steam VR, and that's it. The PSVR 2 app doesn't really do anything. It's just for room setup. You can set 90 or 120 hertz within Steam. So yeah, I mean that's quite good and bad. People like the big screen, obviously, because there's not another layer of software, which is good. But then, yeah, the other side is Pimax Play is getting developed all the time, and that's adding features and stuff that, let's be honest, we're probably not going to see Sony do anything. This is it. This is what we got. Whereas Pimax Play obviously is getting stuff like the upscaling getting added and things like that. So there's pros and cons, but probably more pros to actually having a second layer of software, which I never thought I'd say, but there probably is.
I really loved Pimax Play, and back then also when I had the 8KX, because it is so easy to tinker with settings, and everybody is different, and somebody wants 72 hertz and the maximum graphic quality, which other people want to have 120 hertz or even more. And so I don't know why, but there is quite a couple of users out there who are saying like, yeah, it's so complicated to running a Pimax because there's so many settings. I don't think it's really complicated. I think it's when you like getting to know the settings, and the best thing would like to have somebody who's explaining you one or two times the settings. But I think it's really good just to have buttons and sliders and don't that you don't have to change ini data or something and values. And the same approach also does the VR1, because I saw the software, and it's also amazing what things you can adjust with the software. And I think that's the best part of PCVR, because there are so many options, like in the game, like with the upscaler and so on. I think that's the beauty of VR. And I know some users in the German Discord forum, and sometimes I mock them because I say you love to tinker with settings more than you love gaming, because there's always like, I tried this setting and it's better now 3%, and try it. So it's really funny because the whole community tries to push the boundaries and try to get the best experience out there. So I think this is really great. And also when there is a new software released, people are eager to try it, and I think that's the beauty of PCVR. And it is plug and play for me. Maybe I'm a lucky child because I don't have strong bugs or something with Pimax products, and also with other products. Okay, the PSVR, I had really hard problems with the Bluetooth connection, but I could solve them. So that's easy solvable in my case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that having tried most of softwares of VR headsets, I like it the most the Pimax Play, because it allows you to set a lot of things that other headsets don't let you do. For example, HP Reverb G2 doesn't let you adjust the brightness or the colors. Or, for example, I think Pimax is the only one that lets you set the IPD offset independent of each eye. And yeah, I think we have a very cool features and settings there. Maybe some people complain about little boots there, but I think it's not about software. It just needs to be more improved, and more updates are welcome. But yeah, I have tried also the Vario Aereo. It didn't have much settings to deal with, so I'm happy with the Pimax Play.
I can see Cobus's comment. Hi, Cobus, in the chat. I'm really interested to know, and might do a video on this, is so you have console and PSVR 2, and you've ordered a Pimax Crystal Light, so congratulations. Hope you're really going to enjoy it. I'm very interested to know why you took that step and did not try out the adapter first. Be super interested to know. No pressure. Have you gone? Maybe we come back to it, but I'm just personally really interested to know, because there's a lot of people, a lot of subscribers to my channel who are hardcore Gran Turismo 7 players, and a lot of them play PSVR 2. And if they want to make that move over to PC VR, do you just go straight for the Crystal Light because it has that pixel? You know, we could be a better headset, pros and cons, or do you do the adapter? It's like Cobra just wants to go straight to the top. So stuff like having that Pimax Play and having the upscaling and thing like, okay, I want to run it at ridiculous settings, but I'm going to lower it to 72 so I can get there. You have that functionality.
I mean, if you've
That's
already got
basically-
PSVR 2, get the adapter, surely.
Well, I mean, I've got PSVR 2. I haven't got the adapter because I've also got a Crystal Light. So I'm just thinking, well, I think the Crystal Light's probably a better experience than PC. I know it's
Yeah, but I mean, the adapter's what, 50 quid? Doesn't mean you can't then sell it on and get a Crystal. I mean, if you already got PSVR 2 and he's not had VR before, surely that's the easy way to give it a go. Might hate it for some weird reason, I don't know, but
no, Cobus does that for you. He's got PSVR 2 on PS5 like I do, and he's also just got the Crystal Light like I do as well. And it's interesting that there's some part of us that thinks the same, which is like, on PC, I'm going to go for the best, what I think is the best VR headset, as opposed to do that perhaps a slightly halfway house. I don't want to talk it down, but it's like rather than doing an adapter, I think that's going to be a lot of personal preference. For a lot of people, that's going to be great. And for some other people, it's
Yeah.
going to be, no, I want to have the sort of dedicated option. I find that really fascinating because I'm sort
Yeah.
of in the same boat.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
but I
it
mean, using
depends.
both, I'm not sure which I even prefer.
That's what
And
I
that is the
wanted
question at the moment.
to talk, because I think it really depends what are you playing in VR, because I think with the PSVR 2, the controllers are really cool. I tried some shooters. Also, OLED display is always a joy. Of course, there is Mura, but when you have a slow-paced game, like a horror game or something, I think this is really cool. I know today the topic is VR racing, and I think the benefit, like Adam said, the if you try the device by yourself, you can form a way better opinion, because I saw so many response on my PSVR test video, and because people know that I own, I think right now I own 20 or 21 headsets, different headsets, and the thing is, of course, people told me like you can't compare €1,000 device with a €400 device. I think in my case, yes, because I don't, I'm not like, yeah, you have to buy the crystal because it's so much better. I said, if you own the PSVR and if you want to try it, go for it, because those are two different headsets. The, of course, the crystal with local dimming comes close to an OLED display, but OLED is so much better. And I saw so many people talking about when you're doing a night race and you have like the headlights coming and you see that in the mirror, that this is amazing. And this is something where you can say, okay, I like this better than have a higher resolution. And only for, if, like Adam said, if you already own the PSVR, then go for the adapter. Because for me, it was the same. I thought like, okay, it's €60. Of course, I will buy the device and try it out. Maybe it's so good that I will play more. In my case, no, I stick with the crystal. But I think it's a really benefit for everybody to just for a couple of euros to get the another headset for PC VR gaming.
So I think the slight
Yeah.
wrinkle on that, and I'm trying to work out why I've done what Cope says. I have a setup for console, so I play console games on my console, and that includes my PSVR 2. And then I have this setup here, which I'm just finalizing for PC, which is hardcore. And so and I use both. I use my PSVR 2 for GT7. I use this. So probably it's like if you want to have that console, if you want to play Gran Turismo in VR, and you also want to do PC sim racing, and you don't want to keep moving your headset around, you kind of need to get another headset, which is interesting because it's not a one cable into the PC, the PSVR 2. So that again, that's a convenience thing. Some people might be happy to disconnect every time and go up, or you might be setups together or whatnot. But it's
Yeah,
it's
convenient. There is a
interesting.
point on that. Yeah, that's definitely a point. Not, I will say, not so much the headset, because literally the headset itself, you just one cable from the PS into the box on the PC. More than that is the controllers. If you need, you obviously don't need them for sim racing, but if the room setup on PSVR 2 rears its ugly head, you need. Sometimes it might want you to. It won't recognise a scan. You do need the controllers, and they're a faff because you've basically got to repair them with the Bluetooth, and then when you go on PlayStation, you've got to plug them in by USB and turn them on, and then you've got to do that each time back and forward. So that's a bit of a faff, to be honest. Unless you buy a second pair, they don't sell them, do they? Unless you buy second hand, but yeah, that's a bit of a faff. The headset itself's not too bad because that's just the one cable. If you leave the box plugged in.
Yeah, it's the most simplest actually to unplug and plug, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's not too bad, but then, yeah, still like you, yeah, I've got the crystal here with this setup. and the PSVR2 does generally live in the other room. So, you know, yeah, I do generally just still use the crystal. But
PPDs are
Well,
PPDs.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know which I prefer, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know whether I prefer. Yeah, what I feel is a bit more natural image because of the OLED in the PSVR 2. Just the colours, the brightness compared to the PPD. I don't know which I prefer, and obviously I know some people are going to be definitely prefer PPD, and that's fair enough. But really, it makes me think. It makes me look forward and just look forward to see what the Super brings with its OLED display. I'm hoping that will just solve everything, and then then there'll be no question. Hopefully, that'll just kill everything. That's what I
Yeah,
hope.
I think I think the Super will be interesting because 50 PPDs have to feel very good. It will have more field of view, which is very important in sim racing. So I'm looking forward for that headset. Let's see how it goes.
But even then, it's still not gonna be one headset to solve all, or one display to solve all, because you're gonna have the OLED, but it's gonna have a small FOV, isn't it, compared to the QLED version? That's gonna have a bigger FOV, isn't it? So obviously you can. The whole point is you can swap out the display, which is good.
Yeah, we will have to try, but I think field of view will be more important than OLED. I think. I don't know because I didn't try yet. So let's see.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have to try for yourself. That's something I tell every user who is eager to try something else out. Please try the device by yourself, because I can tell you everything, and what's the best feature for me could be the worst feature for you. So many people told me the Apple Vision Pro is so good, and I tested it, and I don't think it's a good device. I mean, it is cool and everything, but I was very disappointed. And even if 1,000 people came to me and said like, this is the best I've ever tried, I would disagree, because I said, come on, it is some things, the tech demos on the Apple Vision Pro is something. It was even better with the first Rift CV1, like the dinosaur going over your head in full immersion. And with the Apple Vision Pro, it's just like a little 3D window in your living room, and the dinosaur just looks into your living room, which is like, are you kidding me? What, this is nothing. I mean, yeah, the quality of the display is good, but yeah, so everybody should try devices by themselves, so to see if it's good quality. And there is a reason why I'm in Shanghai, because I met Robin Wang. We had a very nice first meeting, and I already saw like the housing of the Crystal Super. And tomorrow and on Tuesday there will be more infos, and I can say the future looks bright. And yeah, that's all I can say so far, but very happy that I'm here in Shanghai.
You keep your eyes peeled for anything with 12K written on it, and let us know. You know,
Absolutely.
have a little snoop around if you can.
Yeah, I think that the future is looking very promising for virtual reality. It has grown a lot in the last 5 years, I think. And more people are coming, better headsets are being released. I think for the future, I only ask one thing in comparison for the Crystal is smaller headset and less weight. That's the cons of the Pimax Crystal, in my opinion. But the picture quality is already there, the fan is already there, and you have got a good PC. I think that I have triple monitor setup here, and I still prefer to use the Pimax Crystal. It's just, I don't know how to explain, but it's more realistic, and to your brain, it feels like magic being in the track.
I can already tell
Yeah.
you that the housing of the Super is smaller, definitely smaller.
Yeah, that looks good.
So just picking up what Ryan I was saying earlier, in question from Daki in the chat about comparisons. So I went to the Pimax Roadshow in London. I thought it was great how people can just turn up and put a headset on, and kind of some people are like, whoa. Some people get motion sick, and it's just good to know that VR is not going to be for everyone. I'm not good enough to do sort of through the lens comparisons, but I think there are channels that do sort of through the lens videos that might be more realistic, where they kind of like record it through the lens. So you might be able to on YouTube see some channels that do comparisons like that, as opposed to recording it in the whatever it's called, the cinema view, whatnot, which might not be realistic. Because it's always a little bit subjective. I did a video the day when I was in iRacing, running at 120 hertz in the crystal light, and I was like, I really think this is very close to what I perceive on a 4K monitor sat at a normal distance away. But again, it has that subjective element. But yeah, there might be some sort of through the lens you can see if you want to see actual comparisons. Because I know a lot of people got burnt on PSVR 2. I think Adam's quite sensible. You're sensible and realistic about it. But I think a lot of people went in thinking it was going to be like the second coming of VR or whatnot, and then they were disappointed because it was such a big investment, didn't quite deliver it. Yeah.
I think through the lens footage, it is a very delicate topic because we don't have like a standard. Like for example, if you test FOV, there are three major programs where you can test FUV. Of course, the depth of your eye sockets and the IPD and everything, and also the borders of a headset. There's so many things that also interfere with the experience. But the problem with through the lens videos is that it depends on so many things, like refresh rate of the camera, like what camera are you using, which games are you running, do you use autofocus, auto ISO, etc. So it is so difficult, in my opinion, because I saw so good through the lens footage and I saw so bad through the lens footage, and this is like, it is very hard to say. And I decided not to do through the lens because I don't want to burn my fingers. That's why I'm inviting everybody to come to my office in Austria, because we have like also a Pimax Experience Center, and we also hosted the roadshow in Graz, and to try the device by yourself and not just the crystal, all of our headset, because we are VR developers, and the the good thing is that we use VR for our day-to-day business and also for gaming. So every headset purchase is necessary for our work. So we need to buy every headset. And yeah, but I totally get the why isn't it 4K in VR thing, because I did so many VR presentations, and most of the times people are complaining like, can I do it, can I switch it and adjust it to be a little bit sharper? And honestly, the Crystal and also the Aero are the first headsets where people don't complain anymore. And I think the Crystal, like Sebastian from MRTV said, he referred like it's a high glossy magazine, and I totally agree. And right now you only get this image with the VR1 and with the Aero and the Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. I think that some people may think that maybe the difference is not much, but once you are comfortable with that quality of the Pimax crystal or the barrier area, you can see that it is a point where quality, you are no longer thinking in the aliasing or the colors or whatever. Some things that with the HP Rever G2, for example, I was like, it is missing a little bit, right? And yeah, I agree that with 35 PPDs, we have achieved a very good quality, very, very close to a monitor. And yeah, for the thing that you said about the through the lens videos, I totally agree. They cannot capture what you see with your eyes. For example, you cannot capture brightness or deep bloods of on an OLED display, because even your monitor may be LCD, so you cannot see that in the video. You have to see yourself. And virtual reality is also in 3D, in a word scale, 1:1. So yeah, I really don't pay attention into through the lens videos anymore.
Actually, you're absolutely
No.
right,
Yes, really.
because it is so hard to promote VR. For us as a VR developer, it is really, really hard to show a client the beauty of VR. You have to grab him, put him the headset on the head, and say, now you're gonna look through the headset to see why is it so good. And there are so many misinformations out there, because I had argues with people. They're telling me like, yeah, when you have a Quest 3, you can achieve the same picture quality if you mod the device. And I say no, it's physics. The crystal has 82% more pixel, and also the native DisplayPort cable. So it is simply not possible. It would be the same like buying an HD monitor and using super sampling to boost it up at 4K. It is not a 4K monitor, period.
Yeah, when you watch through the lens videos like Quest 3 versus Pimax Crystal, through the lens videos can look even better on the Quest 3, and that's not real. That's not what you see. Yeah, pixels are pixels, and the displays of the Pimax Crystal are just better. The only thing I think that could be improved are maybe the lenses, because there is also room of improvement there, always in the sweet spot. They are very good lenses. We have zero glare. That's something that I like a lot. For example, Quest 3 has glare, a little glare. But yeah, maybe it could be improved the sweet spot in the future. But pixels are pixels, and you look at the display port connection and you look just the visuals you get, overall they are better. For sim racing, I think there is a no-brainer. Maybe for other games like sports and room scale, maybe you want wireless, or you want smaller headsets like a big screen. I don't know, but yeah, for overall gaming in PCVR, for graphics, and especially in sim racing and flight simulators, I think the Pimax Crystal is just better than Quest 3.
And
Okay.
guys, sorry to interrupt you, but I think we are running out of time, and we still have to do our Automobilista race. I think it's a perfect time to start it now. So how about all of us jump in and broadcast our race? I'm actually quite excited to see who's gonna be the winner today. And you guys are trying different monitor headsets, right? So let's
Yeah.
see, Adam, you have yours.
Yeah.
I'm really
Start it
happy
up.
that I
Hope it doesn't
see
crash.
two people already in our game that are also in our chat. So Masmus, aka Markus, he's already inside Automobilista, and the second one, Winhovanian,
That's me. Yeah, that's me, the
Okay.
second one.
Okay, then
How,
it's
how do
only
how
Marcus
do
is in the game, but it's very nice. And like I told you, there is the gaming
Can
PC
you hear
from
me?
Pimax. Yeah, we can hear you. And I will try
Okay, okay,
to.
perfect. I was switching the microphone to Pimax.
Remember to turn the game volume down. You won't hear anything.
That was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
Very nice. You are all
Just to answer
experts,
that
and I
question, I got I think VR optician lenses in the crystal and the crystal light. I just put the same ones. With the lenses, so you take your glasses off. It just pushed a little bit against my top of my nose here. So I bought a different gasket on Amazon. I bought a gasket. I think it was for a HTC Vive, and now it just fits perfectly. So when I've connected it, I'll do a video, I think, showing it properly. But it's like a really thick gasket, and just sort of you don't. So because when you put the VR optician prescription lenses on it, it obviously pushes the lenses closer to your eyes and your forehead here. So um, yeah, I bought a thicker gasket for it, which wasn't even for the crystal light, but it still fitted. And then I won't
oh
go back. I don't think I'll go back now. I think that's how I'm going to do it, because I'm just going to use the double tap to look at the desktop, and then when I put the headset on, I can do everything I can do in a PC normally, which I hadn't appreciated.
Reinhard, shouldn't you join with another Discord account so you can broadcast your game?
Unfortunately, I think. Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, I don't think it's working because I can't.
Okay, sure, no worries. I think the other
Well,
guys are sharing the screens.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
The,
And
the, the room is called Pimax, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The multiplayer room.
and password?
But don't tell anyone.
Masmus
And
already
we cannot say
discovered
that,
our
I
secret
think.
code.
Leak.
Max, maybe we could invite Masmus also into the chat because then he would be able to talk to us if he wants.
Okay, Masmus, if you'd like to, I'm inviting you. You can join us. By the way, while we are waiting for everyone to set up, I'm gonna post a small update, a small promo in our chat. So these days, if you want to support our Discord community, you can purchase your Crystal Light through our affiliate links.
Hello.
And also, hey, Masmus, thanks for joining. I just put the links in the chat. And if you do it through our affiliate links, you also get a chance to win our custom t-shirt. I also put it in.
Okay.
So yeah, we do a lucky draw at the end of August. So for everyone who's purchasing Crystal Lights through our affiliate links, you have a chance to win this cool t-shirt. So yeah, all the links are in the chat. You can check them, guys. All right, so Masmus is here. Masmus, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit.
Hello, everyone. I'm Masmus from Germany, and I played with Reinhard Automobilista the last 2 weeks. At Sunday, I got my Pimax Crystal 10 days ago. Before that, I had Pico 4. I like this headset very much, but the Crystal is really a perfect quality.
Cool. Happy you like it. Because yeah, recently we see some people who receive Crystal. Anyway, not recently, but from time to time we see some feedback that it's a bit too complex to set it up. And I saw your message before. You also admit that it's not like plug and play, right? It requires some setup time. But overall, I see that you're satisfied with the product, and we are very happy to hear that. All right. So, are you guys ready to
I'm
start?
ready. Yeah, I'm
Cool.
ready.
Are we done?
Yep.
Are we four
I think
players?
it's missing. I think Adam is missing. I think in the
It's gone.
lobby.
Oh yeah, he just dropped out of the call as well. PC blew up.
Oh,
Might be having a
Uh,
problem, I guess.
let's wait one more minute, and maybe we can start without him.
No.
Do you guys see him in the lobby? Maybe he will still join you online.
He's
Just
now
joined the
in
call
the
again.
audience. Maybe
I
we
just
can get
joined.
him back on stage.
Oh, okay. I invite him. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Right, that's the third time my PC has crashed, and all three times have been when I've started up PSVR 2. So that's being aborted. Let's move to the crystal. See if it happens there.
This is also a very good use case because when I started the live stream, or Max started the live stream, the Pimax crystal already was running in Automobilista, so it's running for over an hour now. It's
Yeah.
still not crashed. So, and I have to be honest, Max, don't yell at me later, but this PC here is like not very well maintained. So this is a very good proof of example.
Yeah, I've never had an issue with crystal at all. You see all those videos like when it came out, the reviews of people. What's his Carl? Is it or Gosling? Like all the problems he had. Like that's clearly your computer, mate. I mean,
Yeah, we try to help him. It's a different topic,
yeah.
a different story. But I have to say, just use VR. Doesn't matter which headset.
Right, starting up the crystal. Mm.
We are driving country in Austria on the Südwestring
All right, Hert. I think I cannot hear you very well. Maybe something's wrong with your microphone. Can you guys hear Reinhardt?
He's very silent.
Very quiet.
Really?
Cannot hear right now.
It's funny.
In the race, I would hear nothing.
Damn.
Also, I have 20 minutes ish. I have to go.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
better
rounds.
now.
It's better, yes.
Yeah.
Better.
Say it
Yeah, it's
again.
better.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the whole time
Really
my
better.
microphone was switched to the laptop and not to my headphones. So basically,
Okay.
I don't need my headphones. This is odd. This is odd. This is a very, very funny kind of setup here. I hear you through the headphones, you hear me through the laptop microphone, and the picture is in the crystal, which is on a different PC. So,
I think Adam is joining now.
Yeah.
All right. So all of us are good to go.
It just
okay,
joined the server.
I will not able to hear you speaking during the race. So because otherwise this is too complicated for me. But I already
No
apologize.
No problem. I think let's just
not gonna
drive
be a
and
problem.
enjoy.
for crashing into somebody.
X is going to be the commentator.
And there we are.
There we are.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Okay, let's go.
Good.
So if I press on start, is it starting? Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Masmus, you are using Crystal Light right now, right?
Yes, the Crystal Light. I have it
Cool.
10 days now.
The original idea
I'm
for
using
this.
the I'm
we
using the
plan-
original crystal.
Yes, original Crystal. Adam, I think, is using it too as well.
Yeah.
Original idea was for everyone to use different brand headsets, but I like how all of us end up.
Oh, I didn't choose my car. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Okay, we don't change liters or whatever. We just click on drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's
Let's
on
go. Let's
BMW.
see.
How long is it? Was it 5 laps, isn't it?
5 laps, yeah.
Everyone who's watching, we accept your beats on the winner, so you can put in comments who you think is gonna win this race. Oh wow, we start already.
What the heck's going on?
Adam join.
What's going on?
Adam,
Oh, we're not controlling it. All right.
It's rolling a start.
Fuck, that was. I've got no gears.
Oh, whoa, hang on, what? Who's the steward here? It helps in the long run, actually.
I've got no paddle shifters. Oh no!
Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulties. I'm reaching down using a shifter that's not connected properly.
I think we just lost the keyboard as well.
Can we restart?
We could.
I can't. This is impossible.
You're actually not doing too bad because you only got one gear. Oh no, you got into fourth there somehow. Oh, fifth.
Adam, come on, we believe in you.
I'm trying to use a gear shifter that's by my knee, facing the wrong way. It's plugged in, but not physically connected to my rig. It's because I'd all set up, and then when my PC crashed, I forgot to change one thing.
Oh yeah, I see. Alejandro and Reinhardt are silent. I think they are very
battling it.
determined to win.
I can only talk really loud. Maybe you can hear me. I have a
I'm
very
out of this
annoying
race.
problem. I have the wrong rotation angle at my steering wheel, so I think it's a very hard beginner's mistake.
I'm pulling over.
Who is leading? Alejandro?
I think so.
Think so, yeah. He's in front of me.
Yeah.
I've got gears now, but I'm no, I still don't. What the heck?
And for Omer, your screen is frozen. Are you in the game?
I am in the game.
Great, now I've
Is
got
it frozen?
gears. I'm only a lap behind. It's all right.
My screen's frozen.
Big prize for the winner, right? If I remember, the massive prize.
14K, 16K. I'm sorry.
It's interesting to see that because there's a big debate in sim racing about cockpit view and third person view and everything. And when you look at these images here, it looks like a very unusual field of view that most people on a 2D screen wouldn't have. But obviously, those of us that drive in VR, we can understand how this relates to. You never complain about your field of view in VR, but it looks unusual when you look at it in a 2D capture, which I think is again interesting. The concept of like how do you accurately convey what it's like to sim race in VR through YouTube or videos.
I totally agree. I watch Alejandro's screen and the way he's turning his head, of course, it's like very interactive.
I was out of that from the start. Sorry, I didn't change something after I rebooted after yeah.
That's fine, Adam. It's okay, that happens.
There was no way we're
I-
all going to make it through. That was never going to happen.
I think Alejandro was so predetermined, there is no way to beat him. That would be cool
Well,
if two cars go next to each other and then Alejandro like look at Reinhardt and he's at him and make like kind of this YouTube video where they can kind of see each other. I think that would be very interactive. All right, Alejandro, you're still at the first place.
yes.
He's not a secret alien, is he?
I think we should do more events like this where we do VR only lobbies, because normally when everyone's racing, you go into a lobby and there's a mixture. But if you do some VR only
Yeah.
lobbies, which I try to do on G7 from time to time, and
Are we going to wait for?
I'm not sure.
It's a shame.
How's
Look,
my
the three of
screen?
us
Is my
not
screen
even
frozen
driving.
still?
It's crazy.
Shall we keep going or?
this must be last
You-
lap now.
It's crazy. We've got three of us here not even driving.
Oi.
Masmus,
Wow.
which place are you at right now?
No. Lol.
Oh,
Oh wow, who was it? Was it Reinhardt?
I don't know
I
why
think
you
it's three of us.
Technical issues, like really funny technical issues.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Should we start again or?
Well, do another one in a moment. I'll have no excuses this time.
oh, big move.
Oh wow, now it's getting interesting.
And now it's interesting to see, where does the driver look? Do you look at the corner? Do you
Yeah.
look at the car? Do you look in the peripheral? Do you actually look away?
That's my problem. I know what you're meant to do, but I can't help but look at the end of my nose, basically. Back in the lobby.
Ooh.
Nice move. That rotation looks like a big issue.
Oh.
I think it does also raise some good points, which is that, see, Alejandro's setup is kind of looks like locked in. Obviously, Reinhardt's gone to
Mm.
China and slightly different. It's like in VR, you do want your setup locked in. You don't really, unless you're one of these people that likes messing with settings. That's great, but that's the thing on PSVR 2 on GT7. You know it's just going to work. That's kind of the standard. So on
Yeah,
PC VR, you actually do want to lock it in.
Yeah, and that's one of the big advantages of Quest, really, isn't it? Of same as well, that's the advantage of console anyway over PC.
Mm.
In general, PC, at least
Whoa.
30% of PC gaming is settings.
Yeah.
At least. Not my actual.
What happened there?
Yeah, so a lot of my journey now, especially on YouTube, is getting the right settings so I can put the headset on and go racing. And when I'm coming home from work, I can look forward to racing and just put it on and race. rather than it's an unknown. I'm like, is it going to work? Is it going to break or hang up? It's kind of
Yeah.
when it's locked in. That's when I think you get that full enjoyment of escapism, because then you can escape into that world and not
Yeah.
have to worry about stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I have technical issues. My
Don't we
steering
all?
wheel
Don't we
is so
all?
loose, and every time it is really funny. Every time I like steer too hard, the menu comes. It's like pressing on pause. I never had this issue before, but there are some screws loose. So
What wheel is it?
TGT.
Oh yeah.
I can't hear you. The sound is too loud.
Who's left? Is he just is Alessandro racing on his own there?
I'm behind him.
Ah, oh, because yours is frozen.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's a good point, Daki. I think there's a broadcast mode in AMS2.
There is, yeah.
I would really like to do more VR sort of experiences in Discord and in YouTube. It's just really technically difficult, like really difficult. But I think the ideal viewing experience, I'm guessing for you, would be that you have everyone racing, and you can choose who you want to full screen and get the sound from it.
Yeah.
It's just yes, we can come together and try and work out how we make that happen.
That's
But I
what. That's
think
why
that
the
would-
broadcast mode is really good. Yeah.
All right. So Alejandro, he's going for the second race right now, right? And he's leading again. I think we can.
Second race.
No, he's
No, we
pissing.
already
We're
finished
in
the
the pit.
race.
okay,
Nice.
yeah,
He's parking.
just a
Enjoying
quick
the next one.
explanation. I can host another one, but I can't race because I have two major problems. The first major problem is that the angle of the steering wheel is set wrong. So for 180 degrees, I need to do 360. That was the first thing. And the second thing is the steering wheel is loose, which is not the problem. But as soon as I start steering, the options menu pop up and it's like hitting pause. So it was like, okay, there is something wrong.
It sounds like it's
Everyone
finished.
takes very serious. Reinhard takes everything very serious.
Bad carpenter blames the hammer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have an issue with the FPS. They're really bad. I don't know why. But yeah, it's fine anyway.
Okay, but I can, if you want, or if
By the
somebody
way,
else want to do another lobby, or I don't know
I
if I
think
should.
that's fine.
I have to
Okay,
excuse myself, by the way. I don't have much time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
See you.
See you.
Yeah.
It would be quite a good thing, like if Pimax, if you hosted like actual events like this, and you could have more people, actual racers join, and then
I
like
already do
Max,
drive
your
events.
example, you're not driving, you could do the broadcast stuff.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
But on the
It's a
server,
pretty
we
unique.
already tried to do a weekly events. Marcos, and Sebastian, we already did a race, and we will continue to do races on the Pimax Discord. So this could
All right,
be
okay.
like something like a weekly event or 2 weeks event. So like the same we did today, just without the podcast, that we can see if,
Yeah.
I don't know, for example, 10 people are interested, and then we are at least 5 people who has really time. So this would be very cool.
Yeah. 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 And hopefully no one, not too serious. That's the thing. A lot of online racing is just too serious for me.
No, it's just entry
It's
fee is
only a
like
fun game.
$1,000.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah. No problem. It's in the post.
Yeah, it's or just a private
So
squeeze.
So no game more today.
are we going to do another race or?
Yeah, I can.
Yes,
Yeah,
just-
I haven't done one yet.
Please just
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
me which track you want to race, and I set up everything. Because then you don't have to change
Jerez.
hobbies. But I can't drive because
Reinhard, kannst du bitte auch machen, dass man nicht nur ein BMW nehmen kann? Ich komme mit dem Auto nicht zurecht.
natürlich.
Not
It's gotta
only
be it's got to be
BMW,
a base game.
perhaps a McLaren also. GT2, GT3 is okay, but only BMW. No.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to do this anymore. I can only change the vehicle. But you can tell me which vehicle you want.
All right.
You have to
McLaren or put a Formula One if you want. I love
McLaren,
Formula
okay.
One.
Oh, Formula One, okay.
Oh,
Should we
God.
drive at Spa or Spielberg again?
I don't mind. Whatever's easiest. You've already got
Yeah, me
Spielberg.
neither.
I think I think you can't change it how it's set unless you come out.
I could choose the track, but
Yeah.
All right.
And Formula One?
oh no, there are rules and regulations. Just give me a second.
Gen 2?
And it hasn't crashed. So PSVR 2 is causing issues.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or should we do the McLaren? Yes.
Yeah, I love that
It's
car.
F1, yes.
Okay. Then I pick the
That's it.
Let's go.
Classic Gen 2. Oh, God.
5 laps.
Right.
I think it's too long. Could I go for 3 laps?
It's not the actual F1, the classic one.
Yeah,
That's the old one. Yeah, you picked an old.
Yeah, it's the old one. It's okay.
I prefer the old one. They are better.
It's more fun.
Right. Let me H
Okay.
pattern. Yeah.
Are 5 laps enough, or should we go for 3 or
5 is okay, or?
I think it's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
yeah.
okay? But
5
then
laps.
it's like taking 1 hour. Okay, then I click start.
5 hours are okay.
I will just comment a little bit, but the next race I will be in Austria again, and then I will perform better.
Okay, let's go.
Hold on, I've lost my microphone. Can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes.
All right. I don't know where my microphone is. I don't know how you can hear me. All right, that's fine. One second. Sweep back down a bit. That's why I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not. I'm not in my car. It's a bit weird. I've got no
It's
cockpit or anything.
unusual camera angle. Like it. Sitting on the front nose cone.
looks
And in
very
the leaf.
beautiful.
I've got no car. I'm floating.
Yes, it's a magic carpet ride.
I'm in Wonder Woman's jet or something.
It's like a very aggressive lead.
So I've got no mirrors. I've never had this before. Very weird.
This is the beauty of PCVR.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't. I must have hit change view or something. No idea what button that is.
Masmus is the first one right now, right?
Yeah.
Den Kram gibt es Oh, wurscht. Well, das ist. Okay. Das ist möglich. Hast du gedacht? Ja, voll. Ja, das wackelt da, gell? Ja. Und wenn es wackelt, dann ist es so, wie wenn es Skate ist. Dann ist auf einmal Pause mit Video.
Great performance from Masmus. Because Alejandro, he's a very experienced sim racer. And yeah, Masmus is leading.
Na, für mich, nur für mich, weißt du? Also, okay, es geht nicht. Und da ist irgendein Schrauber drin. Das macht ja auch keinen Sinn. Also, das Ding ist komplett hin.
How many laps left?
Hello, Reinhard.
Die Einstellung, aber ich bin kein Neues.
Alejandro's getting closer.
On DRS.
Schräge Zeit, oder? Allgemein, was wir da machen. Was da passiert.
Whoa, it's getting hot.
Schräge Menschen. Der Masmus,
Wow.
der hat das gesehen, der konnte da auch mitfahren. Der hat ziemlich equipped ausgeschaut. Ungeil. Ja, passt. Sicher.
Unfortunately, we cannot see the Masmus gameplay.
It's impossible.
Der wollte ihn nur gefahren. Wir sind auch. Aber
So if Alejandro wins again, so it's a second race and he's a winner. So I think there are no doubts who's gonna be the overall best champion of our today's podcast.
Ooh.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, that was close.
It's a commentator's curse.
Yes.
I think again it shows once you're in VR and everything's working, it's just the best experience. And the issues are how reliably can you get into that experience, in my opinion.
It's interesting to see how the angle is shifting when Alejandro is taking the turn. His camera tilts to the right, so also cool. For the triple monitors, there is no effect like that, right? Because it doesn't matter how you shift your head, your camera like stays the same, right?
No.
Like
It might be the cam.
okay, you see when he's turning, he's naturally turning his head, so it tilts. But it's for us. Actually, for Alejandro, I guess it stays the same. No, it also changes for him.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Gran Turismo doesn't do like banking, for example. So when you go on a bank, your headset doesn't level. Your head doesn't level. I think this one is doing it, which is interesting. Obviously, if you did that in the real world, as people do in sim racing, you tilt, then you would have the same view on your triples.
Yeah. The magic carpet view of Adam looks super fast. Like it seems like it's not possible to drive like this.
I can't tell where my wheels are. I keep going on the grass.
Just like the world's fastest mosquito or something.
Of all the technical difficulties, I never thought I'd have no car.
So who is on the first place?
Still, this car is awesome.
Alejandro at the first place. Once you get back to Austria, you need to challenge him. Because this time you had a faulty rig.
Yeah,
Once
it was.
you
I think you're all in together and sabotage the Austrian guy. Oh, hello! A friend of mine just joined the live stream. Hello, Stefan. Servus from Shanghai.
how many labs have you set up, Reinhardt?
5 laps. So, but they
I
are
think we
so
are in the last
fast.
one.
One or two.
Must be a change view button somewhere.
It's also fun to watch it like this, at least for us. So it's okay.
It does give you a massive sense of speed. I'm right on the tarmac.
Yeah, I did Rensport like this. In Rensport, you can change the views as well. and it's the field of view that's really, when you go into the third person, you have no sense of speed at all, really.
For Adam, he's got a extreme sense of speed, for
Yeah.
sure.
Which is actually more what it feels like in real life. Faster cars that I've driven.
Yeah.
You lock in. Like,
I wonder how endurance your brain should have to like go hours in this mode, like constantly watching the road.
We just finished that race.
Very
oh,
nice.
nice.
Congratulations. So
Alejandro wins the battle, but not the war.
Round one.
No one doing donuts. Oh.
It was some good racing, and you can imagine if you had, I think there's a real opportunity here. Like if you had 20 drivers all in VR, battling closely and looking, and a viewer can select.
It
which one
looks
they want
so
to
good
focus
to
on.
drive through each other.
Can be a really exciting experience. I mean,
Yes, I agree, Kirat. They, like
Wow.
anyone can join this live stream and just jump from one to another. Yeah, that would be very cool.
yeah,
What is the
so
change view button?
one user in the chat. Name, unfortunately. Maybe there's a better option to do an event like this.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, we can think about some other things next time. Because today our live stream of the race was just like a small addition. Firstly,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
gathered to, yeah. I think we can wrap up the race right now because according to our agenda, we had a small discussion at the end. So just to sum up, right now, what are the most interesting headsets on the market, and maybe which one is best for what? Maybe you can think like for other like maybe 2 or 3 specific target audiences and 2, 3 headsets that fit them the most depending on their preferences. Because I feel like during our first discussion, we kind of came up to a mutual conclusion that Crystal, Crystal Light, and potential Crystal Super are kind of dominating the industry, but maybe not for everyone.
Yeah.
Reinhard, what do you think?
That was funny.
Happy that you enjoyed it, Marcus. Really, really happy. And if I'm not mistaken, you are playing with the Pimax Crystal Light?
Me? Yes.
Yes.
It's one of
Okay, very
Pimax
nice.
Crystal Light, yes.
Okay.
But Reinhard, I'm
Uh,
using the OpenXR toolkit.
Yeah, you
For
should
me, it's better.
use OpenXR toolkit.
Yeah.
If you want a high fidelity quality, then the OpenXR toolkit is the way to go. For me, it's
Yeah.
only a little bit hard because when I record videos, everything has to work as I want it to work,
Okay.
and also the screen mirror and everything. So it is a bit tricky when the time is limited. But
Yeah, it's tricky.
yeah, it's absolutely fine, and I think it is a good. Also, it is a good topic. But today, it's we don't have time to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool that the also the Crystal is very capable to do OpenXR, and that you can use the OpenXR toolkit to even get better clarity and a better enjoyable VR experience.
In the toolkit, you can add more sharpness, and that's really cool. And
Yeah,
I
so
run the game with 100% resolution, and I downgrade the resolution to 80% with 120
Something, I guess.
FPS. It's really cool.
Yeah, and this is the thing I told before the audience, that this is the beauty of PCVR, that you can tinker with settings that satisfy your needs, and with with the Quest or just with the Quest with the standalone mode, you are very limited, and yeah, that is something also what I like about PCVR. And unfortunately, Max, I forgot your question, but you said that.
Yeah, overall, the conclusion, currently, what are the best headsets for PCVR, or I'm sorry, for sim racing, and maybe for different audiences? Probably there is no one that can satisfy everyone needs, but what are the main like audiences of sim racing, and what is the best headsets for them?
Well, let me just jump in and say I have been singing the praises of this, but I've had 3 hard PC crashes since I've got it, and only when running it, and I've never had a problem with the crystal.
Now
Hopefully
it's
that's
real.
something.
We have it
I don't know
on
if it's
video.
just me or if other people have it. Yeah, so that's frustrating.
I like the Pico 4 for sim racing, but I always have micro stuttering at the Pico, and this is completely gone with the Pimax.
That's my
Yeah.
So to satisfy Max's question, I think the best thing is that you can use kind of every headset for PCVR. It doesn't matter. Even if you use an old Rift CV1, you are able to enjoy PCVR. And if you want to spend more money, you can always go for high end, and even not high end, also business hardware. But nobody can stop you from buying an XR4, which is way over 5,000 euros. And I think, like I said before, the use VR. It doesn't matter which headset. The same with the Apple Vision Pro. I don't like the device, but I think it's cool that the device exists. And today we saw that you can have problems with PlayStation VR. You can have problems with Pico, with HB, also of course with Pimax, with Crystal. This is kind of part of the game, and just use VR. Doesn't matter which HMD. For my
That's it.
personal preference, the Crystal Light is the way to go. But I don't know what I will see in the next 2 days. What, like Crystal Super, or I don't know what. Maybe I will change my mind really soon. But definitely looking forward for the next iteration of hardware and also GPU. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
Alexandro,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Alexandro, thank you for the nice drive. Was really funny.
You too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
Quest
think
3
that.
is
Okay,
sorry.
Adam.
No, I was just saying we were just talking about like you were saying, Reinhard, that just get into VR. Yeah, I mean even if someone picks up an old Quest 2, you know, and jumps into PC VR, it's like nothing. It doesn't matter. It's like nothing else. Once you're in, that's it. Even if you get a Quest 1 and that's got OLED, so that's quite nice. All right, it's old and blurry, but I think once anyone experiences smooth VR, because a lot of people go into VR and hate it, but that's probably because it wasn't smooth. That's the main thing. If it's smooth and comfortable and you're hitting 90 or whatever you got the refresh rate at, then it's going to blow you away, and then you're only going to go up from there. But even if you just get an old cheap headset and get into PC VR, you know, it can't compare to a monitor. It's just I can't even drive on a monitor at all. I can barely drive in VR. But I can't if I go onto a screen I can't. It's impossible now. I can't hit the apex at all. I've
Yeah.
got no judgment. It's so weird. I know I would if I kept it up, but I don't want to. There's no point. And there's a lot of games out there now, like like Forza Horizon. It's a good game, but I don't want to play it because, like, why would I want to play that when I can jump into a game where I'm in the game? Same with everything in VR, not just sim racing. Not to say 2D gaming's out the window. There's still a lot of great games, but if you can play something comparable in VR, and it doesn't matter on what headset, you're just going to get a different scale of awesomeness, and in the more you pay, the more awesome it will be. Same with everything in life, I guess. But yeah, and
But I
the
think,
Quest 3 obviously has those lenses. I'm hoping that the Super has something close to the lenses of the Quest 3.
but I
That's
think
my wish.
Forza Horizon is a fun game. It's no sim for me.
No, but
Yeah.
but how awesome would that be in VR though?
Yeah.
Just chilling out, just driving around. That'd be fantastic.
Or Grid Legends. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Phenomena.
think
Yeah.
I agree 100% with Adam. It doesn't make sense to play a racing game in flat. It is. I tried it by myself. I tried. I think it was like Race Driver Grid Legends or something. And after 20 minutes with my controller, I was like, "What I'm wasting my time. It's nothing that catches me." So I agree 100%, and it doesn't have to be a simulation. I would also love to have Forza or something like Need for
yeah,
Speed. I would love it in VR. It's
yeah. I've always wished Wreckfest. Imagine Wreckfest had VR.
Mm.
I mean, we might get something like that when Flat Out eventually comes out. That's going to be good. But yeah, like you said, yeah, anything is improved.
Yeah, as my conclusion, I would say that, comparing VR versus flat, VR is something magical compared to triples. Triples have also advantages, like, that maybe they are more comfortable and it is easier for streaming, like, because people can see your face. So
Yeah.
every people is different. Every people have personal preference, but I think VR is currently the best way to play driving simulators. And about the best VR headset now that we can get, I think that in terms of price quality, Pimax Crystal Light is the best choice for high-end PC VR or the PS VR2. Because Quest 3 is also a good experience, but it doesn't have DisplayPort and it's bad for sim racing that. But it's also a good headset. So people who have Quest 3, please try sim racing because it's amazing also. Yeah, I think there are other headsets also in the market, like Vario Aereo, which was in the market. If it were in the market, I would say it's also a great headset, a great choice, but we can no longer buy it. So it's just the Pimax Crystal Light or the Somnium VR1. Honestly, I didn't try the Somnium VR1, but it's more than double the price. Well, it's up to every person to decide, no? But yeah, I think VR is getting very serious, and I'm liking how it is going compared to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Curious, and maybe some final words from you, and we can wrap up the webinar.
Yeah, I'll be super quick then. I think I agree with what everyone said about racing in VR is better than racing in 2D, mainly for me because of the depth perception. I think what we've seen today, the question remains is, do you want to go on PC VR where you will have to tinker more and there will be more issues? Or do you want to buy a PS5 and plug your headset in and play Gran Turismo and it just works? And I think
Yeah.
that is for my audience anyway, is the big question. And I think, like the person who came earlier, probably a subscriber, they've played PSVR 2 and Gran Turismo 7 possibly for over a year, and they kind of want to go to the next level. So for people at that stage, I think that's the question of sort of ease of use and access. I think we all agree that racing in VR is better than racing in 2D. So the more PCVR could do to make it more accessible and just work, I think the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and thanks everyone for joining today. Everyone who was watching the webinar, it was really fun, and I do look forward to do it once again at some point. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and see you next time, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
See you.
Everyone.
See ya.
All right,
Bye,
thank you.
guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.